Kia ora e hoa ma friends, and welcome back to another YouTube video with me, Ajax. Today it's the YouTube story time, and without further ado, let's get straight to it. Today we have a lovely book called Mihi by Georgia and Anna Latu from Pōtiki Poi and Māori Studios, illustration and design. In the beginning, there was nothing. We called this Te Kore. From Te Kore came Ranginui and Papatūānuku. Together, they had 6 tamariki. Tāwhiremātea, the god of the weather. Whenever I'm stuck in a downpour and the wind are beating against my skin, I think, ngā mihi tāwhiremātea. Rongomatane, the god of the crops. My baby brother loves to make a mess of his kai. He loves eating mum's kumara mash. Ngā mihi rongomatane. Tūmātauenga, god of war. The marae Aotea is the domain of Tūmātauenga. It is also an appropriate place to discuss issues. I am thankful we don't have often issues. Ngā mihi Tūmātauenga. Tangaroa, the god of the sea. Every summer I visit Tangaroa and hang out with whānau and friends. I love boogie boarding. Ngā mihi Tangaroa. Haumia Tikitiki, the god of the plants and uncultivated food. My baby brother loves to reach out to the plants and help with our mara kai. Sometimes he even tries to eat all the leaves. Ngā mihi Haumia Tikitiki. Tāne-Mahuta, god of the forest. I think of nature and the tamariki of Tāne-Mahuta and how lucky I am to grow up alongside them. Ngā mihi Tāne-Mahuta. It was Tāne-Mahuta who took up the challenge and searched for partners for him to create a human being with. First he came across Hine Waioriki. Together they had children called Kahika and Mātai. Then he met Mumuhanga. Together they had a child named Tōtara. He then met Momo Nui. Together they had children called Tawa and Finau. But he still couldn't create a human. So Tāne-Mahuta then met Punga. Together they had lots of children called Aitanga Pepeke. Then he met Haere Awa. Together they had a child called Weka. He then met Paranui. Together they had a child called Tui. But he still couldn't create humans. Eventually, Tāne-Mahuta found Kakaramea. He modelled the clay into the form of a woman, took the clay into his arms, pressed his nose against the clay. Suddenly, Hine Ahu 1 was created. She opened her eyes and sneezed. Tihei Mauriora! Tāne-Mahuta loved all of his creations and went on to create the shining sun and sparkling moon and stars above his father's head. Even though he had created so much already, he met more partners and had more tamariki. Eventually, he met Pakoti. Together they had a child called Harakeke. Then he met Hine Nui Te Po. Together they had a child called Raupo. These children are the 2 beautiful plants that poi were first made from. Harakeke for the taura and raupo for the upoko. Ngā mihi. When I think about all the adventures Tāne-Mahuta had and how he never gave up, I am grateful to him. Because if he hadn't kept going, I would not be here, and neither would my poi business. Ngā mihi Tāne-Mahuta. What a wonderful book called Ngā Mihi. It teaches us all the importance about not only Tāne-Mahuta, who tried lots and finally created human, but a lot of wonderful things. Also the likes of all the other gods, and it was wonderful. I especially love this book because of the story it tells. We need more books like this. Anyway, thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace!